Video. I am Sami Abu Saad, Director of Education at T3 Live. Welcome to the weekend edition of the Strategic Swing Trader. As always, thanks for tuning in. We're going to be going over the market. We'll also be going over some of the swing ideas that I like for tomorrow. But before we start, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss is for educational purposes only. If you'd like to download a copy of my free ebook, link for that is in the description. And if you find benefit in today's video, please be sure to hit the like button. If you have any questions for us, leave a comment or reach out info@t3live.com. All right, here we go. So thank you so much for tuning in. Let's take a look. The market, as I talked about last week, it turned bearish. And there are two things to consider. One is to determine the direction of the market, which we already determined last week that it's bearish. And then the other thing is to determine where turning points, to look for turning points. But first things first, are we in a bullish or a bearish market? We are definitely right now in a bearish market. So just keep that in mind. The second thing is, okay, are there any clear areas where we should look for a bounce, like a major bottom or a major bounce? And right now we don't have that. We could easily bounce a little bit and then maybe continue lower later on. So that's not what I'm trying to determine. I'm trying to determine, is there a target in mind? Is there a place where I think if we get to, we will have a bottom or a major bounce? And I do. I have 320 on the Qs, all the way down to 310 maybe. And that's really the most that I would expect from the market, okay, as far as the drop goes. The SPY is a little bit more complicated because the SPY is already at support. If you look to the left here, this daily chart of the SPY, we're already at support. So, and we went through the top of the base, which is the first area of support. So where are we headed to? If we're not going to bounce off of the top of the base, maybe off the bottom, which means next week we might actually be, this week might actually be a bounce week. I mean, we might bounce a little bit this week, okay? We might, but I do think we will eventually actually retest this year's lows, or the 200 MA on the weekly chart, on the Qs, the 200 MA, this area basically, which is close to this year's lows, okay? So that's my target on the SPY. The IWM is at a multi-year low, like a 3-year low or so. And we do have a little bit of support right here, these overlapping candles. So that's like 150. That's not much support. And, so I don't have an exact target on the IWM like I do on the Qs and the SPY. Okay? The SPY, the 200 period moving average on the weekly chart, I think around, let's just go back real quick and take a look. Around 400, maybe a little bit less than, lower than that. And then the Qs between 320 maybe to 310 on the Qs. Though that's what I see as the next real support area. Notice again, lower highs, lower lows. That's a weekly downtrend happening on the Qs. Doesn't mean we can't bounce. I mean, as you can see, we dropped 3 weeks, we bounced 2. We dropped 3, we bounced 3. We dropped 2, do we bounce? We might. I'm not trying to predict whether we bounce this week or not. I'm trying to predict where we might end up putting in a bottom. Okay? So I hope that makes sense on the market. Let's go ahead and take a look at the ideas. As always, I copied and pasted my entire watch list for tomorrow in the video description. I'm only going to go over a few here with you, but there's a lot more symbols in the video description. AGI is already an open play, just a kind of a disclaimer, but I really like gold stocks in general. It's not just AGI. I like HMY also. I like KGC. There's a lot of gold stocks that look good. Look at GLD, guys. Just look at that GLD bar that we're having this month. Okay, there is no way, of course, there's no such thing as no way in trading, but there's almost no way that this is going to fail. Almost no way that this is going to fail. Meaning we're higher. GLD, gold, is higher. So figure out a way in, whether GLD or, some of the other gold stocks, I like AGI. It's already, as I said, an open position. I like HMY has the daily buy setup. So the entry for it would be over 481, stop under 455. AGI, there's two entries. One would be over 1296 by 1219. Another one would be over 1326 by 1219. Okay. Now, other gold stocks are good too, but they don't have good entries just yet. Like the KGC actually has a decent entry, but would have to be up here. Stop maybe down here. So, okay. And then there's more. I don't know how many I have in the description, but I have a bunch in my spreadsheet that I'm watching. If they set up, I will be sure to let you know in these weekly videos. We have EJH, which is also another open position. This thing has been grinding up for quite some time, so I like it. Over $2. There are two stops. One would be under about $1.80, and the more secure would be under $1.62, I think. 63. Thought it was 62, to tell you the truth. But anyways, so over $2, stop under $1.60, or over $2 by 180. I like the wider stop. It's safer. FTI, I was in it, and it was one of my better trades in the recent weeks and months. Took it as a breakout and got out, I think, under the sparse low, to tell you the truth. So this was an amazing trade in the strategic swing trader, but it dropped. That was the top. Not really. It went right back up and is putting in a 1, 2, 3. So I like it higher again if it takes out 2230 with a stop under 2118. 2230 by 2118. We talked about the HMY. Let's take a look at the IBM. Love the IBM longer term charts, like the monthly chart. It's been building a base for several years now, put in a rounding bottom. So I really like IBM long term. Now, it may be the wrong time to be doing long term trades right now, especially name brands that are going to follow the market to some extent. Here's a cute entry on the IBM if you want, as an hourly buy setup over 143. Can also try, over 143.30. That's safer. Stop under the lows. So 143.30 by 141.50. Okay, it's a cute entry off the hourly chart. Add to it maybe over 144.70, which is Friday's high. Really like the IBM long term. Again, I told you the only issue is it may be the wrong time to be doing name brands long term when I don't think the market is bottomed yet. The LRN is like insanely bullish, all-time high, looks higher over 54.50, stop under 51.75. Like so bullish. The VICR is iffy, but it's a pretty chart. Down a lot, gap down, has a breakout, long, stop right here on the VICR. So it'd be over 41.50 with a stop under 38.90 and target the gap fill, or almost $50. The KGC, I added it later, just to talk about it. Here's the shorts. Not a lot of good short setups, bearish setups. I have AA, which is a nice hourly base breakdown. So under the lows, $23, stop over 24.37, and has plenty of room. It's entered into a void. It has room to 17.50 on the AA. DFS, notice rolling over on the monthly chart. Weekly 1, 2, 3 also, so short. Under 79 by 83.20 on the DFS. And then the PENN, this thing is just, wow, what a collapse. I remember during the pandemic, the PENN bottomed at like 3 and went to 150 or something like this. I thought it was 3, to tell you the truth. Yeah, 375 to 142. Incredible. Look where it's at now. There's a lot of stocks. In fact, most small cap stocks, I don't know that's probably small cap, look like this. So many of them. And look at this. It still looks lower. Where to? To the prior lows. There's no support. All the way down to $4 or so. So I like it lower. Let's take a look at the daily chart and see if there's a setup. Yeah, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4. So short under Friday's low, which is 1840, stop over 1940. Okay, those are 3 bearish ideas. I have more in the video description, but those are the ones that I feel are most ready. There's the PTCT gap down on Friday, pretty bearish, base breakdown if you want. There's the SE, I think, 1, 2, 3 also, so short under this bar's low. Stop, I would put it on above Thursday's high. There is the SDA, but it's still at support, 1, 2, 3 after a gap down, so that looks really good, except that it hasn't taken out that support. So again, there's other ideas in the description. I just wanted to go over the ones that I think are most ready to go. All right, well, thank you for sticking around till the end. Again, if you found benefit, hit the like button. If you have any questions, leave a comment or reach out by email and customer service, info@t3live.com. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best with your trading this week, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care, everybody.